Hi, my name's Claire. I'm a holistic therapist and I'm also a doTERRA wellness advocate. I joined doTERRA in January 2015 and I've been using it ever since. Absolutely love the products. And I thought I would do a little presentation for you today for some tips and tricks for back to school, which can be a time of being a little bit stressful and also tends to be the time when all the germs like to come out as well. So just a quick reminder that when we are using essential oils on children in particular, we should definitely be diluting them. And also on adults, if they haven't used essential oils before, they may be sensitive. Always start with diluting and then you can see how you get on. But this is just a really simple chart. You can see here, for example, if you're making up a 10 ml rollable bottle for a baby aged 0 to 12 months, then maximum amount of drops would be 6. Now I would say that would be for a 12-month-old. If you've got a baby that's just a couple of months old, then you want to be using 1 to 3 drops in a 10 ml roller bottle. And as you can see, as children get older, they can have more essential oils in their 10 ml of carrier oil. And also to remember that there is a limit to how much you should be using essential oils daily. And doTERRA have put this kind of safety guide in place just to give you an idea of what it would be. But aromatically, so that's in your diffuser, you can kind of use these oils 24/7 if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it because I do tend to do like a couple of hours on, a couple of hours off if I've got my diffuser going, because you get the same amount of benefit. And you don't need to have your diffuser going all the time. It's nice to kind of have a little bit of a break, and then when you switch it on, you kind of feel the benefits all over again. Then we have internal use. So that would be in a soft gel or a beadlet. So you can see here, for an example, ideal amount would be 2 to 4 drops for an adult in one time, and 12 to 24 drops in a 24-hour period. And for a child, it'd be 1 to 2 drops at one time and a maximum of 3 to 12 drops in a 24-hour period. I don't tend to even go anywhere near those amounts, and I still get a really, really good result with the essential oils. Then orally for adults, so that would be maybe taking essential oils under the tongue or adding it to your water. There's your ideal amount and your 24-hour maximum. And then dermal, that would be on the skin, so a topical use of essential oils. That would be for adults 3 to 6 drops in one time, and 12 to 36 in a 24-hour period, and for children 1 to 2 drops at one time, and 3 to 12 drops in a 24-hour period. So that just gives you kind of just a guide, I think, an idea of, what your maximum amount would be. So first of all, we're going to talk about germs. And of course, the first essential oil I'm going to talk about is On Guard. It's the protective blend. It's a blend of oils such as clove, rosemary, orange. It smells amazing. It smells a little bit like Christmas. But you can, if you have the On Guard essential oil, you can make your own rollable bottles. So that would be adding a couple of drops to a rollable, depending on how old the child is, and topping it off with a carrier oil such as fractionated coconut oil, or almond oil would be another one you could use as well. And then rolling it on the soles of the feet, that would then boost your immunity, basically. It helps kill any bugs and viruses. They also sell the On Guard beadlets, which are tiny beadlets with 1/4 drop of On Guard oil in the beadlet, and you just swallow it down with some water. They also do the On Guard lozenges. They do On Guard cleaner concentrate, which you can use to clean your surfaces. They do the On Guard foaming hand wash, which we absolutely love. I always say to my kids, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Like that, I say that every single time they come in from the garden, or they come back from school, or they come back from shopping, before they eat, I say wash your hands. And that has made a massive difference in our house, all the germs that we've or haven't picked up. I mean, my kids were not sick at all last school year. So from September last year to July this year, and even now, I could probably say for the last year, they've not had a cough, they've not had a cold, they've not been off school sick, they've not had a tummy bug. And I definitely put it down to the On Guard cleaning, cleaner concentrate, the foaming hand wash, and the oil. I use all those products all the time, and that's made a huge difference. But the foaming hand wash I love because it's very gentle on the hands. You get a bottle of kind of it's like concentrate, and you pour it into a hand pump, which doTERRA can supply, or you can buy your own hand pump. And then what I tend to do is I do about 3/4 of the foaming hand wash, and then top it off with some water, and that just makes it last a bit longer. And just give it a shake, and there you go, your foaming hand wash is ready. But use that all the time, and it doesn't dry out your hands, and it doesn't stop your skin from producing its own barrier either, which some hand washes, especially antibacterial hand washes, can tend to do that. Now, the On Guard has been proven to kill the flu virus. There is research to show that on a website called PubMed, which is where lots of researchers and doctors will put their research out there for people to read, and it's all peer reviewed, so you know that it's proper research that's been done. So yeah, can't live without On Guard, and we use it all the time. Then we've got the probiotics. You might think, well, why probiotics? How is that going to help boost immunity? Well, roughly 70% of your immune system is located in the digestive system. 80 to 90% of your serotonin is made in the gut, and serotonin helps regulate your mood, digestion, your sleep, and also links have been observed between the gut microbiome and brain disorders such as depression and autistic spectrum disorder. Also, one course of antibiotics disrupts gut microbiome for a year. So if you have had antibiotics in the last year, you should definitely be taking a probiotic. But what I found with these probiotics is that they've definitely helped my children with their moods, but also with their immunity. As I say, they've not been ill for a year. They don't take these every day. They take them every couple of days. I would take them every day. If they'd had a course of antibiotics, I would suggest taking one every day for at least 30 days. If you are just trying to maintain, then I would take a probiotic every couple of days. So again, in making it last longer, this doesn't have to be a really expensive thing to do. You can just take them every couple of days, so they'll last a couple of months. And you can see the Pre-Assist Junior. It looks like little sachets of sherbet, and it tastes like sherbet. It's strawberry watermelon flavour. You can just cut off the top and pour it into your mouth if you want, which my kids tend to do, or you can add it to things like yogurt or a cold drink. It just must be cold. That's the one thing with probiotics. You must add it to something cold if you are going to mix it with something. If you've got a child under a year old, I would suggest only giving them half a dose at a time. It's quite powerful. You also might find that a child, when they first start taking a probiotic, they might go to the toilet a bit more. If you have a child also with constipation, this is amazing for getting kind of the bowel movements going as well. Then we've got our get out of bed and homework helpers. So these are some lovely diffuser blends. If you haven't got a diffuser yet, you are missing out. I absolutely love our diffusers. We've got one in practically every room in our house. We use them all the time, and you don't have to spend a fortune on diffusers. I've seen some in places like Selfridges that, you know, £50 that you can buy from Amazon for like 30. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but it should be really, the more money you spend, the bigger it is, and the bigger the area it will fill. So if you have got quite like an open house downstairs, for instance, open plan, then you're going to want to spend a little bit more money on your diffuser. If you're just in like a small bedroom or a small study or something like that, then you can spend a little less money and get a smaller diffuser. But you can see here we've got diffuser blends for focus. And so we've got, for instance, frankincense, lime and Hawaiian sandalwood together. Sound an amazing combination. Or tangerine, peppermint and rosemary. Rosemary is actually really good for memory. So if you have got a child that's studying, then get the rosemary on. And then we've got the back to school blends. And actually, if you just Google doTERRA back to school or doTERRA diffuser blends, they always come up with some lovely combinations for you to try. So study time, they've got lime, lemon, wild orange, grapefruit and bergamot, which sounds amazing. I might put that on later. It sounds really, really lovely. And for stress less, they've got things like vetiver and lavender and balance, which are all lovely kind of grounding blends. So I would kind of suggest trying these diffuser blends. And I think with children as well, you've got to let them decide what smells they like, because if they don't like it, kind of what's the point if they're not enjoying it? You want them to enjoy these diffuser blends. Then we've got past tense, which is really great for headaches, or if you get, I know that every time someone says to me, Mum, I've got homework, I'm like, oh, great. And I get an instant headache because I know I'm probably not going to be able to do it. But past tense is brilliant for headaches, migraines, muscle tension. But I would, even though that comes in a kind of pre-diluted rollerball made by doTERRA, I would dilute it again. I find it really strong. So dilute it again and again, it will last you longer. And then we've got In Tune, which is your focus blend, and people swear by this. But just helping you focus, just pop it across your forehead, back of the neck, down the back of the ears. Really, really good for helping you focus. Again, I tend to dilute this down even further. I find it quite strong. Then we've got sleep and stress and anxiety. So again, some lovely diffuser blends for you. I tend to use the Serenity blend, which is lavender, vetiver and cedarwood. Cedarwood is really good for helping to produce melatonin, which is the sleepy hormone, and vetiver is really good for helping you stay asleep for longer. If you find that lavender is actually not making you feel relaxed, some people it doesn't. There's about like 1% of people that find lavender makes them feel more awake. You could try something else like wild orange is actually quite relaxing, even though I find that quite uplifting. Other people find that quite relaxing. But also the new copaiba oil by doTERRA that's only just come out in Europe is amazing for sleep. I use it a lot with my clients in their massage, and they are all reporting that they sleep much better. So if you do find that lavender is kind of waking you up a bit too much, swap it out for the copaiba and see how you get on. So you see they've got a couple of different ones for you to try. Also should mention, if you have a child that has nightmares, juniper berry is amazing. Just pop a little bit on the big toe, and that's because in reflexology the big toe is linked to the head. Pop a little bit on the big toe and they stop having nightmares. I tried this last year with my youngest, who was 5, and she was just started school. She started having nightmares. I used juniper berry on her big toe, worked a treat, stopped the nightmares. We all got a good night's sleep. It was brilliant. What I find that there's one of these blends here, which is the spa dreams, which is lavender, lime and peppermint. I find peppermint a bit uplifting. So you just kind of got to find your own way sometimes with some of these blends. See which ones you like, see which ones you find more effective. But I like the fact that doTERRA are giving you just kind of a couple of ideas, really. Then we've got the Pacific blends for stress and anxiety that doTERRA have made. So we've got Balance, which is a grounding blend. I love this. We have Serenity, which is the calming blend. Again, as I said, I tend to use that at night. I put it in a diffuser about 30 minutes before bed, and it really gets everyone to sleep soundly and quite quickly as well, because it's got that cedarwood in it. And then we've got the Citrus Bliss, which is invigorating. It's really uplifting, and Elevation, which is joyful. Again, it's a nice uplifting oil. But one of my team was saying, what can mums use when kids go back to school and mums feel and dads feel anxious about their children maybe starting school, or maybe it's going to be, they know it's going to be like a difficult year if the child's going into year 6 or something like that. Then I would suggest any of these. And, I tend to say to people, try a sample, see which one you kind of connect with, because not everyone's going to love the smell of Balance. When I first bought Balance, I was like, oh no, I don't like the smell of this, it's awful. But actually, about a couple of months later, I loved the smell of it. So it really can change. You can change. And Serenity, kind of the same. I didn't love it at first, but in the diffuser, I absolutely adore it. But I don't love it so much just straight out of the bottle. Then we've got Monster Juice. This is brilliant for teenagers and toddlers when they're having those tantrums. You just do 5 drops of each in a 10ml roller bottle. Obviously, you can dilute it more if you've got a younger child. Fill that with fractionated coconut oil and down the back of the spine, across the neck. It really helps keep them calm if they're just about to have a meltdown. And also probably quite good for adults too. Nice little combination. Then what happens when you have a child saying, Mummy, Daddy, I have an earache, I have a tummy ache, I have a bad cold? So doTERRA have obviously a solution for everything, but I love the doTERRA Touch line, which is basically the essential oils already diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and doTERRA have like done this kind of pre-dilution for you, so you can use these oils straight away without having to think about diluting. And I mean, you can buy all these oils just as oils and then dilute them yourself, buy yourself some rollables, buy yourself some fractionated coconut oil or almond oil or a similar carrot oil, and make your own rollables if you wanted to as well. But I just thought this was quite a cool graphic to show you. So we've got lavender, which is really great for calming. If the child has a rash, for instance, really good for calming the skin as well. And you can just roll it straight onto the skin. Then we've got peppermint, which is great for cooling down the back of the neck, down the spine. If a child has a temperature down the back of the spine, it seems to really bring the temperature down quite quickly. Frankincense, a lovely one for headache, or just, you know, if you need to feel grounded. Melaleuca is your tea tree, so that's great for any kind of skin irritations, any broken skin, anything like that. It will help heal. It's antibacterial. Then we have Digest Zen, and that's changing its name to Zengest, and that's for your tummy aches, or if the child has constipation or they have diarrhea. Another great one. I know that sometimes in the first thing in the morning, my children will say to me, oh, I can't go to school, I've got a tummy ache. And I roll that Digest Zen on them, and within 5 minutes, they're absolutely fine and ready to go to school. Then we've got Breathe. Again, that's changing its name to, I think, either Air or Easy Air. I forget which one, but you'll see that over the next few months, they'll start changing the name on the packaging. But Breathe is great for coughs and colds and congestion. You can pop it on their back, on their chest. If they've got that bad cough, you know, the cough that they get at night where it's just cough, 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 and you're thinking, oh, please, I just want to get some sleep, and you need to get some sleep too. Then putting Breathe on the soles of the feet is amazing. With about 20 minutes, the coughing stops and you all get a restful night's sleep. So I do love Breathe. Also, if you've got a husband or partner that snores, great for using on that as well. Pop it across the bridge of the nose, avoiding the eyes, and it seems to open their airways brilliantly. Then we have the On Guard, as we talked about that earlier. Pop it on the soles of the feet, down the back of the spine, and you're going to start boosting the immune system. Oregano, same kind of thing, antibacterial, antifungal. You can pop it on if you've been swimming or anything like that. Melaleuca and oregano are really great on the bottom of the feet, getting rid of any kind of fungus or anything they might have picked up at the swimming pool. But again, it's immune boosting as well. And then we've got Deep Blue, which is brilliant for aches and pains, specifically for growing pains as well that children get in their legs. Just roll it onto their legs, rub it in, give them a little massage, and within about 10 minutes, the pain's gone. Brilliant for aches and pains for adults as well. If you go to the gym or you've just overstretched or something, just roll it wherever you're getting that pain, and within about 5 minutes, the pain's gone. You feel much better. I love the smell of it as well. And my clients, again, my massage clients, absolutely love Deep Blue. Takes away inflammation too. Then we've got the knit spray. So 100 ml of water, 15 drops of melaleuca, 10 drops of lavender, and if you want to, 5 drops of rosemary. I don't tend to put rosemary in, it's optional. I don't love the smell of rosemary. It smells a bit like roast dinner to me, but it's really good if the child has or adult has dandruff. Rosemary is really good. But just melaleuca and lavender together in a spray it on the hair, and it will work to make sure that the child either doesn't get nits, but it will also kill nits as well, because it affects the nervous system on small insects. And also we've got to be careful, a little reminder, not to use melaleuca too much around animals as well. So don't be thinking, oh great, I can use this on my animals. No, melaleuca is not to be used by animals. They just can't process it, basically. So find a spray to put on your child's hair, but don't diffuse it, which you probably wouldn't anyway. It's not a kind of oil that you diffuse, but don't go spraying your cats with it, or your dogs, or rabbits, or any small animal, basically. Good for nits, getting rid of nits. That's what you want to keep it for. And then Claricalm, amazing for any kind of menstrual pain. So if your child gets period pain or you get period pain, just apply it wherever the pain is and it goes away. My sister used this for the first time a couple of months ago. She absolutely loves it, said it was amazing. And I just think it's, you don't want your children to be taking paracetamol, for a week every month. you want them to find another natural solution. We know that, you know, taking paracetamol regularly is not great. Taking any medication regularly is not great. So this is a really good alternative that really works, and they can keep it in their bag at school. It's really easy. They just apply it wherever the pain is, and within, again, 5-10 minutes, the pain has disappeared. And it also helps balance your mood as well. It has like clary sage in it, which is really good for hormonal balancing too. So that's kind of my tips. If you have any more tips that you think we should know about, please let us know. I'd love to hear kind of how you're using oils for getting back to school. But if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact one of your doTERRA wellness advocates in this group and let us know if we can be of any assistance or you need some more information. Thanks for listening.